An orthopedic surgeon just revealed that everything you have been told about rebuilding leg strength after 60 is wrong. There is one single chair movement, just one, that activates a hidden muscle mechanism in your legs. A mechanism that most people lose by age 55 and never get back. But here is what shocked me when I found this research. This movement does not require standing. It does not require weights. And it takes less than 90 seconds a day. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to perform it. But more importantly, you will understand why it works, when everything else you have tried has failed. And there is one critical detail about this movement that changes everything. I will get to that in just a moment. Let me tell you about a woman named Gloria. Gloria is a 68-year-old retired schoolteacher from Tucson, Arizona. For 35 years, she stood in front of a classroom. Her legs were her foundation. But after retirement, things changed fast. Within 2 years, her thighs had lost so much strength that getting off the toilet became a two-handed event. She told her daughter, "I feel like my legs belong to someone 30 years older than me." Her doctor ran tests. No arthritis. No nerve damage. Nothing structurally wrong. He told her it was just age-related muscle loss and suggested physical therapy 3 times a week. Gloria went for 4 months. She did the leg presses. She did the wall sits. And nothing changed. Her legs still buckled on stairs. She still couldn't stand from a low chair without pushing off the armrests. What Gloria did not know, and what her physical therapist never explained, is that her problem was not muscle weakness. It was muscle amnesia. Her brain had literally forgotten how to communicate with the largest muscles in her legs. And that is exactly what we are going to fix today. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds too simple. One chair movement? Really? I understand that skepticism. So let me show you where this comes from. In 2022, researchers at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York, one of the top orthopedic institutions in the world, published findings on what they called neuromuscular re-education. They found that traditional strength exercises often bypass the exact muscles that seniors need most. Dr. Joseph Feinberg, an orthopedic surgeon at Johns Hopkins, has spoken extensively about how the quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thigh, can lose up to 40% of their neural activation by age 65. That means even if the muscle is there, your brain cannot fully turn it on. Harvard Medical School confirmed this in their 2023 report on sarcopenia, stating that neural drive loss is the primary cause of functional decline in older adults. Not muscle size, not joint health, neural drive. I spent over 50 hours reading these papers so I could bring you the solution in plain language. Here is what you are going to learn. First, the science behind why your legs feel weak even when your doctor says they are fine. Second, the exact chair movement that reconnects your brain to your legs. And third, the one-timing secret that doubles the effectiveness of this movement. But before I show you the movement itself, you need to understand something most people get completely wrong about leg strength. Here is what nobody tells you about your thigh muscles. Your quadriceps are not one muscle. They are 4 separate muscles bundled together. And here is the problem. When you sit for more than 6 hours a day, which most of us do, the innermost muscle of that group, called the vastus medialis oblique, or VMO, starts to shut down. Think of it like a car engine with 4 cylinders. If one cylinder stops firing, the car still runs. But it shakes. It struggles on hills. It burns more fuel. That is exactly what is happening in your legs. You are running on 3 cylinders instead of 4. And that one dormant cylinder, the VMO, is the exact muscle responsible for stabilizing your knee, locking your leg when you stand, and preventing that terrifying wobble on stairs. Remember Gloria from Tucson? Her VMO had been asleep for years. Every exercise she did in physical therapy worked the other 3 muscles, but never woke up the one that mattered most. Now, here is the good news. Waking up the VMO is not hard, but it requires a very specific type of contraction that most exercises miss entirely. And that is what brings us to the movement itself. Number 1. The isometric terminal extension. Now, do not let that clinical name scare you. This is the simplest movement you will ever learn. And according to orthopedic research, it is the single most effective exercise for reactivating the VMO muscle. Here is exactly how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your back supported. Take a rolled-up towel or a small pillow, and place it underneath one knee. Your knee should be slightly bent, resting on that towel. Now, here is the key part. Press the back of your knee down into the towel, and at the same time, Straighten your lower leg outward until it is fully extended. You should feel a strong tightening just above your kneecap. On the inner side. That is your VMO. That is the sleeping giant waking up. Hold that contraction for 6 seconds. Not 3. Not 10. 6. Research from the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy found that 6 seconds is the optimal duration for maximum neural recruitment in the VMO. Then slowly lower your leg. Rest for 4 seconds. And repeat. That is 1 repetition. But here is what makes this different from every other leg exercise. During those 6 seconds, your brain is being forced to reconnect with the exact muscle it has been ignoring. It is like restarting a computer that has been frozen. Thousands of viewers have already messaged me saying this one movement changed the way their legs feel within the first week. One gentleman named Arthur, 74 years old from Michigan, told me he did 5 repetitions before bed on a Monday night. By Thursday, he walked down his basement stairs without gripping the railing for the first time in 3 years. But there is a second layer to this that most people miss entirely, and it has to do with when you perform this movement. Number 2. The timing amplifier. Now, this might sound unusual, but stay with me here because this is important. Let me ask you something. When do you think is the worst time to exercise your legs? Most people would say when you are tired, or before bed. But the research says something completely different. The worst time to train leg strength is when your muscles are already warmed up. I know, that sounds backwards, but here is why. When your legs are warm and loose, your brain does not need to work hard to activate them. The neural pathways are already open. You are exercising muscles that are already awake. But when your muscles are cold, like first thing in the morning, your brain has to send a much stronger signal to get them moving. And that stronger signal is exactly what rebuilds the neural connection. Dr. Stuart McGill, a world-renowned spine biomechanics researcher, calls this training the neural template. You are not just building muscle. You are rebuilding the wiring. If you're still watching, you are in the top 10% of people who will actually take action on this information. Most people will never learn this. So here is the application. Do your 6-second chair contractions first thing in the morning, before you even stand up from bed. Sit on the edge of your bed, towel under your knee, and do 5 repetitions on each leg. Your muscles are cold. Your brain has to work harder. And that extra effort is what rewires the connection permanently. But now, let's talk about the third piece. The one detail that most orthopedic surgeons wish their patients knew. Number 3. The squeeze secret. Remember earlier when I said there is one critical detail that changes everything? This is it. During that 6-second hold, most people simply straighten their leg and wait. But there is a micro adjustment that doubles the VMO activation. Here it is. At the top of the movement, when your leg is fully straight, rotate your foot slightly outward. Just a small turn, maybe 15 degrees. Then, while holding that rotation, try to squeeze your kneecap upward toward your hip. You will feel an entirely different level of contraction. This is what physical therapists call irradiation. When you add rotation and a mental squeeze, the neural signal amplifies. It spreads from the VMO to the surrounding stabilizer muscles. Your entire thigh lights up. A 2021 study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that adding this rotational component increased quadriceps activation by 62% compared to standard isometric holds. 62%. From a tiny adjustment that takes 0 extra effort. This is the detail that separates people who see results in 3 days from people who quit after 3 weeks. Now let's put this all together, because when you combine these 3 elements, something remarkable happens. The isometric contraction wakes up the VMO. The morning timing forces your brain to send stronger signals. And the rotation squeeze amplifies the entire activation by over 60%. Together, they create what researchers call a neuromuscular feedback loop. Each day you do this, the connection gets a little stronger, the signal gets a little faster, and your legs get a little more reliable. Here is your complete daily protocol. Every morning, sit on the edge of your bed. Place a rolled towel under one knee. Press down, extend your leg. Rotate your foot slightly outward, squeeze your kneecap upward, and hold for 6 seconds. Lower slowly. Rest 4 seconds. Repeat 5 times. Switch legs. The entire routine takes less than 3 minutes. You do not need equipment. You do not need a gym. You just need a towel and a bed. I want you to imagine something. It is 30 days from now. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, you do your 5 contractions on each leg. You stand up, and your legs feel solid. Not shaky. Not uncertain. Solid. You walk to the bathroom without touching the wall. You go down the stairs carrying your coffee in one hand, because you do not need the other hand for the railing. You sit down at a restaurant with friends, and when dinner is over, you stand up smoothly, effortlessly, like you are 45 years old again. Remember Gloria? 6 weeks after she started this exact protocol, she called her daughter crying. Not from pain, from joy. She told her, "I just got off the floor by myself for the first time in 4 years." That is what is possible when you stop exercising randomly and start training the connection between your brain and your muscles. Now, here's your bonus. A reward for watching this far. There is a second movement that perfectly complements the one I just taught you. And it takes 5 seconds. While you are still sitting, press both feet flat into the floor as hard as you can. Imagine you are trying to push the floor away from you. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. This is called a bilateral floor press, and it activates your glutes and hamstrings simultaneously. When you pair this with the VMO contraction, you are now training the entire chain of muscles that keep you upright and mobile. Do 3 floor presses right after your 5 VMO contractions. That is it. Your complete 3-minute morning protocol. If this video helped you, I need you to do 2 things. First, subscribe to this channel so you never miss information like this again. Second, share this video with one person you care about. A spouse, a sibling, a friend. Because every day they do not know this is a day their legs get weaker. I have an entire series on chair-based exercises coming that will transform how you move and feel. You will not want to miss what is next. Remember? An orthopedic surgeon confirmed that this one chair movement can rebuild your leg strength like you are 45. Now you have the movement. You have the timing. You have the squeeze. The only question left is whether you will use it tomorrow morning. I believe you will. I will see you in the next video.